So we've got Connor DeSimone from Johns Hopkins joining us now. Connor, first, let's talk about the new name, image, and likeness deal that you have going on with STX. You're one of a handful of guys across the country that have signed a deal with the company. Walk people through what that means for you when it comes to what you're doing on the field and then obviously what you're doing off on your social media.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely to start. It's a very humbling experience, and I'm super appreciative that STX reached out to me and offered me what they did. And it's been awesome getting to work with them and getting to work with some great athletes across the country. And it's been awesome. You know, they've been great. They work with us. They've been sending us some great stuff. And honestly, I'm just trying to be engaged as possible and put the team first, but at the same time, kind of promote myself, promote my brand, and be able to kind of expand lacrosse to an uncharted territory for sure.
What's that like in terms of a dynamic across the country and in a locker room, knowing that you have this great opportunity, but obviously, you just want to be part of the team because ultimately you want to win?
The guys have been great. You know, they're super supportive. They want the best for me. They want the best for the team, and whatever that entails, they're all on board, and they've been super supportive during this entire process, and they don't really care one bit.
So let's talk about your team, because you guys obviously had such a different year in 2021 in the Big Ten because of all the craziness in terms of only a conference schedule. And for you guys at Hopkins, it's not normal. You're losing 6 games in a row, but the schedule wasn't easy, and you guys took your lumps. But it seemed like you figured some stuff out when it came to the end of the regular season against Maryland and then into the conference tournament. How do you build on what you guys did at the end of the year?
Yeah, I think it was a complete culture switch for us as a team. You know, we didn't have a fall last year, and we actually got shut down for 11 days right before our first game against Ohio State. So coming in with the new coaching staff and a whole new personnel, it was a very difficult situation. I'm really proud of the guys and how they handled everything, and there were some great leaders that stepped up during that time. And I think more towards the end of the year last year, we just kind of meshed together as a team and kind of had those opportunities off the field, whether it was away trips or meals together where we got to spend some time and really get to know each other and know who we were playing for and know who we were playing with. That really ultimately made that shift from being who we were in the beginning of the season to the end of the season. I thought that was really special, and it's been awesome. And honestly, we picked up right where we left off at the beginning of this year, and everyone's super appreciative to have a fall ball. So it's been a lot of fun so far.
Yeah, I think everybody is just some sort of return to normalcy, especially for teams like you guys that didn't have a fall, has to feel so good. What was the biggest challenge in having a new coaching staff last year? What was the biggest challenge, and what was the biggest difference with Pete Milliman's staff?
I think it was just kind of uninstalling the old and welcoming the new. I know not having a fall, we didn't really have that opportunity to install our new offense. So come first day of preseason last January, everything was relatively new to us, and it was a lot of unfamiliar faces, not having the freshmen on campus, and it took an adjustment period, but I think there was definitely a big learning curve, and once we hit our stride, it was at the right time.
You hit your stride this past year, 45 points in 2021. Obviously, it involved a shift back to attack. What was the biggest difference, and when did you feel like it clicked for you moving into the position you were playing in this offense that Pete Milliman wants to run?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Junior and Coach Milliman put me in great positions on and off the field. I know that my teammates were great, and I couldn't be more appreciative of them and the way that they handled this entire situation. And they were just looking for me. They put me in great positions, and there were some great leaders on the team that were very welcoming and accepting and kind of helping me out along the way. Like Cole Williams and Joey Epstein, kind of getting me acclimated to the new position, really grooming me for what was to come.
You mentioned John Grant Jr. as your offensive coordinator, one of the assistant coaches there. What's the coolest thing you've seen him do in practice?
It's pretty awesome watching him warm up the goalies. I mean, our goalies are great. We've got an awesome goalie room, but Coach June's from inside of 7 is just something really special to watch. I mean, he's one of the best scorers in the game, and he's the ultimate player coach, and I couldn't think more highly of him.
I remember watching him, and he was a assistant coach in the MLL, and then he was like a player coach in the MLL too. And I would watch him draw stuff up during timeouts, and it's just unbelievable. What has it been like to kind of be able to learn and pick his brain and figure out different formations and stuff? I mean, is it different than anything you've ever experienced?
Yeah, the way he looks at the game is definitely very unique. You know, he's one of the most proficient scorers in all of lacrosse, and obviously he's one of the most talented players, if not the best player to ever play. So definitely picking his brain. And like I was saying before, he is the ultimate player's coach. So you get to talk to him after practice and kind of think about what works for you, what you can do in this situation. And the way he breaks down film is really awesome.
So you walk into this year, and obviously for Hopkins, last year it's not what the expectation is for the program, not the expectation you have when you decide you're going to go wear that uniform. How do you guys not like put too much pressure on yourself, but also know that, hey, we don't want to replicate what happened last year in terms of record? How do you take that next step forward?
I think what we can do right now as a team is just focus on like one practice at a time and kind of building that culture and building that identity of who we really are as Johns Hopkins lacrosse players, and all we can do is look 100 feet into the future. And I think that's kind of what we're doing. We got the fall taken away from us. We got a bunch of days taken away from us last year. So at being out on the field, everyone's just very appreciative, kind of giving 110%, knowing that nothing's guaranteed. And at any moment, this can be taken away from us again. So I think that's our next step going forward. We're not worried about the X's and O's and what's it going to look like in May and how we're going to do. We're just worried about the next practice, the next lift, the next wall ball session, whatever it may be.
For you personally, like take yourself back to when you're getting ready to enter your freshman year at Hopkins. You're one of the most highly regarded recruits in the country. Could you ever imagine your college career to have been like this? I mean, this is the years that you've gone through it. You've got a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it's definitely been an interesting career, and definitely filled with unprecedented times. So, I mean, looking back at it, I'm just taking it all in, and I'm just really appreciative that I got the opportunity to take a fifth year, and the guys were very welcoming to have me back, and the coaching staff was welcoming to have me back. So, like I said before, I couldn't thank them enough, and I'm just very appreciative of the guys that I'm with.
Well, Connor, we look forward to seeing another year of you in those Hopkins colors. We appreciate the time. Good luck with the fall, and we look forward to seeing you this spring.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.